Thought today was happening, y'all. Been a crazy week around here. Some of y'all really got over on me on this one. I didn't know this was coming, so I'll get to that in a second. So let's pick it up where we kind of left off last week. I was talking about cool trades and how sometimes like it's still a blast to trade. I actually enjoy trading more than buying and selling. It's just fun to trade, get stuff in. So I wasn't really 100% sure about this one. One that I've had plenty of. Don't even know why this one's special in any reason other than what they named it, I guess, if it is in fact the right name. But Will sent a couple knives my way to check out. I sent a couple his way to check out. He really ended up falling in love with one of them, and he sent me this. They call it a fatty, the SMF fatty. I'm not really sure why, and I even had a quick phone conversation with Steve to try to see if we could figure out why it was called the fatty. It's obviously a Tanto, but I can't really figure out why they call it the fatty. So I know some of you guys are more Strider knowledgeable than I am. This one's in the CTX XHP, which is a cool steel, especially with a coated blade and stuff. So I'm down with that. Typically it's kind of sort of like D2 realm where it'll rust, easier, I guess. Still not. I'm not really worried about it. I like coated blades anyhow. But when I first got this, it was kind of rough, and the more I sat around and played with it and had fun with it and all that stuff, like I don't know, sometimes they kind of they call you back sometimes, you know what I mean? Like sometimes it's been too long. They, hey, let me reel you back in. But this is honestly, besides Steve's, what did you bring on vacation? I think it was I think it's a performance S&G that he had. Other than that, performance S&G, I haven't really handled a whole lot of the newer Striders. Like it's just not been on my radar because like Striders been around forever, and I handled the old ones. And some people say new ones are better, some people say old ones better, some people say they're pretty much the same. This is my first experience with a newer one, and when I first got it in hand, it reminded me of the old ones a lot of lock stick, little grittiness and all that stuff. But you got to break them in just like any other phosphor bronze knife. But after I've played with this for a little while, adjusted it a little bit more the way I like it, this SMF is getting along pretty good. So at first I was like, I told Will I'd trade him because I'd probably just end up moving this one. I could probably move it quicker than I can move that other one. But another good trade. Like, thanks, Will. Appreciate you, man. And he sent a couple other knives for me to check out. Actually, another knife for me to check out, and possibly make scales. But I'm in the shop right now, multimeter right here. You can see I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with this mill. Maybe I'll get to the bottom. I don't know. I've learned a lot about electronics that I didn't know before. So, hey, if something else goes wrong, maybe I know at least a couple things to check. But at a point now, I need help. I'm not even going to act like I know what I'm doing anymore. I'm over my head at this point. But where we're going at that? Oh yeah, trade number 2. So from last week, me talking about trades and stuff like that, Carco hit me up. He's like, you know what? I got some probably ain't really 100% your style, but if you're down with looking at trades, I'm down with it. And actually, he purchased one too, so he bought a Medford, and I ended up trading that DSK that I showed y'all, that newer DSK, a Treyu or whatever it's called. I can't remember. I ended up trading with Carco for that. And Carco, I don't know if people know your real first name or not. Let me know if it's cool to just call you first name or you want me to call you Carco. I did the same thing with Doug, which is 5-door or whatever, something or other. It's Doug now. So just let me know if I can use your first name or not. I don't know if you constantly watch the videos or consistently watch the videos or just pop in every now and then. But this is a brand that I've never heard of. I mean, I've only seen Keystone. I've only seen these like kind of through videos and that sort of thing. And it's an American manufacturer out of Texas, I believe. And I heard a little bit of a snippet on Knife Junkie podcast where he was basically saying the name of the company. Everybody thinks it's his last name, but basically he named it after 2 dogs. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, well, this is my kind of guy. Because if y'all don't know already, I'm a huge animal lover, work with animals like for a living now, pretty much. But this is I'm going to say Keystone, but I'm not sure if that's how you really pronounce it or not. This is the Keystone K9. This is not my style of knife at all. Chris, I'm sorry, damn it, dude. Sorry, bro, if you didn't want to know people knew your name. Carco didn't tell anybody, or excuse me, I'm fumbling on my words here. Let's see if I can start over this. Carco told me this is probably not going to be my style, and I may or may not dig it. But the whole thing to me is I've never seen, I don't know if this is going to come up, but this is like a polished and stonewashed blade, and I'm probably got fingerprints all over it too, but because it's one of those fingerprint magnet kind of things. It's got purple, I think it's fat carbon. I don't know what the difference is. Y'all that are into this kind of stuff, let me know. This is kind of like, I don't know, you know, like collector's age, you know, like cars as you get older and that sort of thing. Like you got a zone where like all the cars being made, or in my case, motorcycles being made are like right in your wheelhouse, your style. You're like your generation's designing those kind of things, and then it goes to the next one, and maybe even the next one, and you're kind of like, what happened to all the cool stuff y'all doing a couple years ago? It turned into this. So I'm not saying this ain't cool, but this just ain't my style, man. Like purple and carbon fiber, two things that generally don't gel well with me. And this thing's on bearings. It's one of them drop shuddies, or I don't know if you consider it drop shuddy or not. You tell me. Shake shut. I don't know, whatever the hell y'all call that. I'm not into the whole description, or up on the latest description. It's not the thinnest blade stock. It's like 165 thou. So like for me, for whatever reason, I get hung up on these proportional dimensions, I guess, and I just like 3/16 blade, just like that SMF. So this just proportionally looks better to me. Like I don't know why the thickness has to be like. This is not much thicker of a knife than this one is. It is thicker, but it's not much thicker. It just looks better than this one does to me. I don't know why. Like, is that a generational thing too? I don't know. Maybe it's just visually. Like when the knife gets so long, it looks ridiculous when they're thin blades to me. Like it's just one of the reasons. Like certain knives, like the Spartan Harsey folder. I'll use that one for instance. I believe it's the same blade stock, the 160 or 165 or whatever it is, somewhere in that area. If it was 3/16 and titanium was a little thicker, it would probably be a good knife for me. But the way it is, it's just it just doesn't. I don't know. Visually, it doesn't do for me. Not that the knife's not cool. But anyway, this one has. I'm rambling like a motherfucker. Sorry, guys. It's got the pivot collars. I'm not sure if you can see that. Yeah, you can see a little of the bouginess there. And this back spacer is like a floating kind of sort of thing, where they call it floating. It's just basically washers on the outside of that. And that big, huge clip is also the bougie stuff, too. The finish on the titanium is actually really cool. It has a nice textured finish to it without even looking like it. But it's just a real cool... It says black tie, so I'm not sure if this is a process besides blasting, but it's definitely had a blast kind of finish to it. It has that finish to it. But I'm not sure if it's a secondary process besides blasting. Thumb studs, I'm pretty sure those are tie connector studs, similar to the ones I put on Nick's American Blade Works a couple weeks ago, or however long ago that was. And this little cutout right here as a forward choil, looking at it, you think, damn, is that comfortable or not? But actually, when you get it in hand, it's actually not bad. And you can see the knife's actually pretty long. It's just not hand filling. It's really, really on the minimalist side. Same with the weight, everything like that. So this is definitely out of my wheelhouse, comfort wise, and that's 100% why I traded for it. Because I was like, I don't know if I meant to say it when it happened, but Stevie did a video on Steve Clare's collection, and his philosophy in collecting was like one cool one from a custom maker. Doesn't need like 10 different models of it. Like basically tries to collect one. And I think I've mentioned this before, but if you haven't seen that video, definitely go watch it. Dude's got a badass collection, and Stevie did an awesome job filling it too. So this is kind of sort of like reaching out to that. Like I'm trying to I just want to see what this custom maker was about. Like kind of feel for the knife. It's completely outside my normal comfort zone for what I would do with a knife. Is it gonna stay? Nah, it's not gonna stay. I can tell you that right now. But what I'm thinking is, since a lot of my friends probably don't have knives similar to this is first gonna go to Steve Clare. But then after that, like maybe Scotch and Things Steve wanted to check it out. Maybe some other buddies want to check it out. I'm gonna let it go around let everybody check it out. Somebody's bound to want it, and someone's bound to have something that I want. So the money part of it really doesn't matter. I know that's somewhat of an expensive knife. I've seen them for way more than what I thought it was when I traded. So Carco said he was cool with it. So I was like, all right, cool. But this value is probably more than the value of the DSK, but he's cool with it. So both happy on that trade. 10 minutes in. Damn. Wow. All right. Talking about loaning stuff out. I got the Zermano tier back. So this will be headed your way. This is the one that came directly from Zermano after I had the rebladed, basically. It's got a little rub mark here now. I don't know if you can see it in the light or not. It's just part of loaning stuff out. Sometimes stuff happens. Like I think probably the pivot came loose and then someone didn't notice it. But it's still functionally a good knife. But Rick, it's coming your way. If you hadn't already, send me your address. I might have it. I don't know. But if you don't, just get this, email me. We'll get the address out. All right. So I have to say this because This was completely unexpected. And Billy's he's a sneaky little bastard when he needs to be. So he's been hitting me up like, "Hey man, where you find? Hey man, where you like?" All this time he's collecting information. So Greg, which is Greg Ashcroft from PTSD Blade Works, and if you watch Billy video, you see he made him a knife a while back, kind of sort of based on a 0920 ZT, more or less influenced by it, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. So Billy and Courtney, Mr. Shane Gables, which is Edgy American, if you don't already know, Nick Edwards behind the edge, Mr. Ken Faulkner, and Scotch and Thing Steve all got together behind my back, not let me know, which is fine. I'm just completely shocked about the whole thing. And they made me, or got Greg to make me, PTSD Greg, to make me a couple fixed blades. And so it's funny because even talking to Billy, he knows that I'm not really a fixed blade guy. It's not that I'm opposed to fixed blades, it's just in my daily use. I don't have as much use for a fixed blade. But then that could be said for bruisers too. So, you know, it's me personally, I guess. But anyway, this one was, according to Greg, mess up with grinds. And this was the one he liked good. This one has kind of a carbon fibery, blocky scale kind of thing. This one has a cord wrap, and both of them had that Kydex sheath, different attachments. And it's got, shit, let me grab my glasses real quick. I can't see shit. I think I'm having, like, seriously having eye problems where I need to go get some heavy duty glasses because it's affecting my balance and all kind of weird shit now. It's weird. So these have different markings, SDA. So y'all got to tell me what SDA stands for, because y'all know you've had him market that somehow, unless it's his mark or something. SDA, what is that? I don't know. And then the PTSD logo, which is kind of like the Punisher skull, the PTSD, and both of these are in 3V. So they're kind of sort of mimicking like a Satu style, you know, like, I don't know if the dude just did it off pictures or what, but they're both 3V and they both got 3/16 stock, which Billy knows me better than I thought he did, because he's like, dude, when you cut them up and make something out of them, just make sure you show everybody. So I ain't saying I'm gonna do that. I dig what's already, you know, what's been done for me. I 100% humbled, 100% appreciated, and 100% surprised by all this. Billy did kind of let the cat out of the bag a little early, you know. He couldn't hold the secret. He just basically said, hey, you want them now or you want me to wait till after Blade? Because I told him not to send some knives I learned to him, not back to me till after Blade show. But yes, it's very humbling, guys. And I appreciate it. And I know the two of the guys on that list, not all of them, but I know at least two of the guys, maybe three of the guys on that list ain't got a whole lot of money. So for them to take what little they got and throw it my way, like, it makes me feel weird, to be honest with you, man, because I'm kind of on an upcycle life financially right now. I'm kind of doing pretty good. I ain't probably going to stay there in a few years. Shit's probably going to change. You know how life goes, up and down, that sort of thing. But right now, I'm kind of on an upcycle. When people do me favors, when I'm on an upcycle, it makes me feel weird. Like, it is, man. It's sometimes hard for me to be accepting of how cool y'all could be to me. I like being cool to y'all. I don't know why. It's like, it's weird that way. I'm gonna quit talking about it because I'm kind of sort of getting, well, I'm not really getting emotional, but you know what I mean. It's hard for me to put shit in words sometimes. I get cerebral about it. How about that? But so let's just call that. Let's just say that this is the video for the week. It'll be under 15 minutes. Thanks again, Will. Thanks again, Carco. Thanks again for everybody who contributed to those knives, and Greg Ashcroft for PTSD for baking those things. And yeah, we're gonna call it for this week. And let's see. I don't know. I'm about to jump in this mill, see if I can try to find 1-2 more things I can check. But hopefully we'll have progress, but maybe not. I got a couple of the loaners in. JD loaned me a couple. I got a knife for Stella to work on. I hope y'all know all these people. If you don't, go find them on YouTube or Instagram. And Will let me borrow another one. I think those 3 people all have knives in, but I don't want to take any more loaners before Blade Show. So hopefully everything will be, you know, everybody has their knife back from me before then. But I'm gonna do my best to try to do that. All right, I think that's it. Y'all have a good week. Catch you next time. Later.